We typically think of superheroes as wearing cool costumes and at least being able to fly, but there's a superhero in each of us, and all it takes is one kind deed to awaken it. Today, we're showing you some random acts of kindness which may not have saved the world, but definitely made it a little better. In the meantime, you can become our personal hero by simply clicking on the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's so easy, and I'll build a shrine to you in my closet. This little African orphan has never received a gift in her life until now. The way she rejoices at a simple doll just breaks my heart.
Dear God, just thank you for blessing me to still be here 13 years later. Tragic accident.
Football player Corey Borner was paralyzed for 12 years and was told he would never stand again. But he promised himself that he would walk at graduation, and this guy always keeps his word. It might look like these cops are about to arrest this freezing homeless man, but they're actually trying to save him. This blind elderly man accidentally wandered out onto the road and didn't even know it. It's scary to imagine what might have happened to him if it weren't for this good Samaritan riding by on his motorcycle. Because of people like this, my faith in humanity will never fade.
Have a nice day, sir.
Despite being physically disabled himself, a young man named Ani continues to work for the sake of his sick mother. So vlogger Ted Kunchak found a way to send Ani home to her as soon as possible by buying all of his oranges for 1,000 rupees. And he even added another 2,000 to help him out.
Okay. Push the hand up.
We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. This guy decided to thank the cops for their work by giving them a gift card to Dunkin' Donuts, but he had no idea they would use it in this way. This homeless man didn't have so much as a shirt, so riding the subway was the only way he could warm up a little. But one passenger couldn't stand by and watch another person suffer. And one good deed always spawns another. This person showed what it means to literally buy freedom, and now these birds won't become someone's toy. Hugo Rolig had to perform the most important dance of his life in a wheelchair. But his relatives helped him feel whole again, even if just for a moment. This poor old lady never would have made it to the hospital if it weren't for this truck driver. Now she'll tell her grandchildren about him. Imagine what it must feel like to lose everything and having to decide whether to use your paycheck on food or save up for a pair of glasses that you so desperately need. And this cashier was the only one who seemed to care.
How much you make today?
$11.
So how much your glasses cost?
About $150 at Walmart.
So you gotta wash 150 windows.
And he decided to give this man his very own $500.
$500 for you.
I'm gonna get my glasses.
Just one act of kindness, and now this man is on his way to a new life. This Turkish chef found out that while he was cooking for other people, people in his home village were starving, so he used all his skills to feed everyone in need. This young man's father didn't live to see his son's 16th birthday, but he made sure that he felt special on this day.
It's for you, man.
Dad bought it for you before he passed away. For your birthday.
He'll never receive a more precious gift than this guitar for the rest of his life. At 38 degrees Celsius, this little guy wouldn't last long without water, so he started chasing this woman as his last hope. Luckily, she understood his cry for help.
Like he was thirsty.
These homeless children probably hadn't eaten for several days because they had to beg for food by the roadside. This patrolman saw their plight and immediately gave them all his dinner. These kids are going to bed with full tummies tonight. A poor cat couldn't find shelter in the rain, and this man did everything he could to help. This woman warmed more than just a homeless dog with her scarf. She also warmed my heart. I don't know how this stray dog ended up on a busy street, but the resourcefulness with which the bus driver saved its life will forever remain in my heart. This guy was on the verge of death as his car dangled on the edge of a mountain road, but he was insanely lucky that there were enough people nearby to save him. This unfortunate dog was suffering from pain and thirst. Luckily, this nice guy was able to help with at least one of those problems. This student was speeding, and the policeman was planning to give him a ticket until he heard the reason for the violation.
After I get a tie tied and have a presentation, and thought my buddy was home, but it's not. Know how to work tight.
And he immediately helped him the way a father would have done.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I can have fun.
Looks good.
Thank you.
All right, man, slow down.
This old man was lying to his own children by telling them that he had a full table of food when all he had was a bun. People around him couldn't bear his self-sacrifice and decided to turn his lie into the truth. This boy had only one dream in life, to make a touchdown, and all his classmates united to make it happen. This tiny bird froze to a metal bar and was helpless, but this man noticed it in time to literally breathe hope into her. The lives of an entire family were in the hands of an ordinary dump truck driver when their car washed up to him during a flood. He knew that there was no time to lose and immediately sprang into action. In addition to serving and protecting, this police officer has one more job: saving these poor souls from starvation every night. Imagine being locked in a car in the middle of a flood. The way this man rushed to the aid of a stranger should be an example to each of us. It looks like this rich man is taking a picture of his favorite car, but he's actually letting a delivery driver sit behind the wheel of his $300,000 McLaren 720S. The cabin of this tractor is only made to fit one person, but the driver still found a way to help a girl who needed it. Look at this old man on the disabled scooter. Nobody seems to care, and he could have just been left in the floodwaters for a long time, if not for one kind passerby. This man figured that turning his truck into a movie theater during an awful traffic jam would make it easier on the kids. A mother couldn't shelter her sleeping child from the rain, and then a stranger did it for her. Just imagine how long it would take these ducks to build a nest on their own. Catching a fly ball means a lot to any fan. But for this boy, this is the greatest day of his life. As the traffic light turned green, this poor young woman wasn't even halfway across the crosswalk, but she was exhausted. Only one woman on this road seemed to care about what happened to her. Here's how soccer player Jamal Adams greets one of his disabled fans.
I got you. Let's do it. Okay. All right.
He makes this guy feel like his best friend. A street singer saw a homeless man who was going to eat straight from a garbage can. She couldn't let that happen, so she gave him her tips to buy some fresh food. And believe it or not, but a stranger gave her twice as much right after. Karma works. For children with special needs, there's nothing more important than seeing an example that they too can become whoever they want to be. For this girl, the decision to go home through the underground parking garage could have been her last. Luckily, this guard had the courage to risk his own life for her. And that's the end of our video. I know it made you cry at least a little. Write in the comments about which clip got to you the most. Also, don't forget to leave a like on the video if you think all these kind people deserve recognition. See you next time.